It's time for the TFN wrap-up video, I guess. Oh my god, it's been 48 hours since I got home. I'm still absolutely knackered. What happened? What's going on in my throat? I feel fine, I'm just tired. So basically at this point, the August Transformers convention thing is like a staple of my yearly routine. It's like I've done one for the last 4 years now, and it's always the peak of my year. But this year was just great, it was really nice. Brilliant vibes, tons of new people. There were a few folks who I would have liked to see who didn't make it, but still wonderful vibe, tons of new faces. I'm gonna try and recount my experience, but I'm probably gonna miss loads of stuff out because it was very full on. I am so tired. I didn't even really do anything. Like, I didn't do any panels or anything. I was just wandering around, talking to people, buying robots, and doing a bit of drinking, but not that much. Kept it relatively clean. So I got there on Thursday this year, which is like a day before it kicks off, because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In the past I've done Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but this year I did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which might not have been the best plan. It was a bit sort of a weird shape. Like, it was really nice to get in on the Thursday, get sort of a nice slow head start on it. There was already sort of a few people who'd showed up, and we were all just very relaxed, very like, oh, hello, good to see you, yes, wonderful. A bunch of us went for burgers and that, and it was really nice. But then on the Sunday I had to bounce about 4 o'clock, so missed a bit of it. And I don't know if that was the best plan. I feel like the ideal strategy is to do Thursday to Monday, but that's that's 5 days. But I feel like it might be a valid strategy for next year. I just don't want to miss anything. When I'm there, I don't want to leave. So I was going to tell you my experience of the whole thing, but I just don't think I've got the energy, basically. There was lots of good stuff going on. Everybody was super up for it. All the guests were dead cool. Friday, yeah, the first thing was the Master Force. They showed some of the really bad Malaysian English dub of some of the Master Force episodes, and it was tough to watch, man. And like the little kid protagonist, he looks like the kid from Digimon. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna win the day, and all the grown-ups are just like, shut up. Then there was the small YouTubers panel with Zord and Tony Thrastle, Soundwave SG1, which was real good, actually, just them sort of relaying their experiences of being on YouTube and sort of growing their channels and whatnot. And I was just in the audience like, why didn't I do one? Just hardcore relating to everything they were saying and just wishing that I'd been bothered to put something together of my own. Because I didn't just want to do another Q&A again. I didn't do anything this year. I felt like I didn't really have anything to say. I didn't want to put any pressure on Dave, so I ended up just not doing anything. And it was kind of nice to take a break and just enjoy the convention, but I really feel like I should have done something. And I did bump into a couple of people who asked me like when my panel is, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing one. And they're like, no, but I missed it last year. And it's, oh. And, you know, that's kind of enough reason, isn't it? I keep forgetting that new people come to this thing. Speaking of YouTube and such, it was nice to have a catch-up with Chris McFeely and just talk shop for a bit. I don't know if you've seen his thing, Transformers The Basics. You probably have, it's doing great. But he just, like, lays out some of his immense Transformer knowledge in his soothing Irish voice. So it was just nice to have a little chinwag with him, sort of key influencer to knowledge leader. There was the Toys and the Traders panel with some of the guys from... There was Andy from Kapow, Nick from Toyfu, Paul from the Space Bridge, and one of the guys from In Demand, and it was just kind of cool to get their side of it, because Kapow have to deal with a lot of complaining jerk-offs, and they're great, you know, they're a really good retailer, they're really healthy for the UK sort of collector scene, and all they get is flack, because, ooh, I can't believe you haven't got this one yet, where's my pre-order? So Andy was just like, yes, we love you, but please shut up. And Paul from the Space Bridge, that guy's got some stories, man. Then there was the quiz. I was a bit sort of worn out by the time the quiz came around, so I kind of sat down with some people. I was just like, ugh. And I think a couple of people noticed. I know Carl did. Poor old Carl. And he did send me a message afterward, like, have I pissed you off, mate? But no, classic case of it's not you, it's me. I was just getting grumpy by that point. It does happen. And Friday night was pretty chill, relatively speaking. I reached a nice kind of semi-squiffy level. Had a couple of pinties and a nice sit down and a chat with some folks. Got to bed about 1. It was all very semi-civilized, relatively speaking. So I was up bright and early on the Saturday, ready to go, and I head downstairs and everyone's like, dude, you're so hungover. Like 4 or 5 people said this to me, but I felt great, you know, I'd slept okay, didn't go too hard, kept it pretty clean, but everyone's like, you reckon? I love it. I don't know if it's just expected of me now, but I hadn't had my coffee yet. So Saturday is when the dealer room opens, and honestly, there's just nothing like it in the world. For someone like me doing what I do, doing what we do, I used to have dreams about that kind of place. Just every bite you've ever wanted, surrounded by cool people and friendly retailers and that. And, you know, there's just nothing like it. It's just Mecca. It's Mecca. Toyfu was crushing it as usual. I don't know if you've seen the unboxing we did, but they 3D printed some feet for Black Zarak. Raiden was looking hot. They de-yellowed it with like peroxide. 3 Star Sabers, Victory Leo, Overlord. Jetfire was looking peng. They had a friggin' boxed Leo Kaiser. Oh, it was like a miracle. Oh yes, I caught up with Sid recently, the fella behind Unrustable Bastards and so on. He also did the Scorpidator that we talked about a couple of years ago, the little Devastator guy, and they've done a new version of that. It's called Sting Thing. It's in like G2 orange and purple. So if you fancy a cheeky G2 Sting Thing, then hop over to Sid's page or to Big Tin Robot and see what you can do. Anyway, there was Capture the Moment bot shots. That was 6-0 and Maz. Off of the internets, talking about like robot photography and so on, like, and it was just amazing to see the lengths they go to get some of the shots, like basically rearranging entire rooms of their house and all the neat stuff they do with lighting and backdrops and that, and it's pretty inspiring, man. It makes me want to raise my game, because you know, this is basically my job now. I want to compete. But Maz did actually say to me, you know, your pictures are all right. I'm like, thank you. But yes, big fan of those guys, and I can confirm they are 2 different blokes. I missed most of Aaron Archer's panels, a bit knocked about that, but I did catch up with him later in the bar and we had a quick photo, and you know, that's all I wanted. Just wanted to say hello, love your stuff, and that's all you need to do sometimes. I'm like no good at talking to guests. I don't know what to say apart from I like your thing that you do. I kind of discovered this when I tried to have a conversation with Shane Embury from Napalm Death. I saw him at a gig and I said to my mate, look, there's Shane Embury, and this guy literally just pushes me over towards him, and I was just like, I like your stuff, and he goes, and then we got on with our lives. I did actually have a quick chat with Lou Stringer, actually, the guy who drew Combat Colin in the old UK comics, because for me that was frequently the best thing about the whole comic. And I actually remember my dad mentioning that he was mates with Lou Stringer. I was like, really? So I went over to his booth and immediately made it weird. I was like, excuse me, mister, did you know my daddy? But it turns out, yeah, they were mates. So we shared a couple of stories and had a little chat and that, and it was just really quite wholesome. So what a legend. Thank you, Lou. What else did I catch on the Saturday? DC Douglas was pretty good. He did a little sort of midday panel. I'd missed his thing on the Friday night. He did like a zombie porno thing because he's in the he was the baddie in Resident Evil. But based on how fun the Saturday one was, I reckon that must have been pretty cool. So I was like, oh, rats. But still, he put on a good little show. He just seemed well up for it. He seemed like a charming fellow. I was also a fan of how he kind of sidestepped some of the awkward voice acting requests from the audience. He was just like, I'm not doing that. Cosplay was good this year. There was some real bangers, man. There was like a really sweet black convoy. He just sort of got on and started shaking his ass, throwing all these shapes, and like an incredible vortex, and then like loads of comic characters I sort of drew a blank on. There was one with just like a cube head and like a screen for a face. I was like, I just don't know what that is. And there's always like the 2 categories, like the big cardboard box chunky robots, and then one that's just like a human costume based on a robot. And there was this one guy in like a white pimp suit with like the jacket and the hat and like a cane and all this jewelry and some oxygen tanks, and there was a bunch of us like, who is that supposed to be? And he comes out, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Nitro Zeus. We're like, oh. Script reading was great. It was DC Douglas as Chase, Daniel Riordan as Beast Wars Megatron, and Andre as movie Sideswipe and Claw Trap. And the stories always kind of have to revolve around some kind of multi-dimensional rift thing, don't they? But it was just full of really nerdy jokes and everyone was really up for it. It was sweet. But Saturday night was all about friggin' Stan Bush, wasn't it? Oh my god. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be a bit weird because it's a funny room. Because it's not like a standard gig venue. It's a hotel with like a low ceiling and soft carpets. And like, it's a funny mix of people because it's all folks with like different musical tastes. And for a lot of people, I think it was their first concert as well, so I didn't know what to expect. I thought it might have been a bit lame, but it was brilliant. Because, you know, musical taste notwithstanding, we all have Transformers in common, and it just ended up being a room full of sweating nerds jigging about having the time of their lives. It was great, and Stan was just treated like a god the whole time. I think he must have been a bit like, what the because like everyone worships him. It was incredible. People were chanting, people were singing. It was just so much love in that room. And it was like a legit gig with a full band and everything. Like there was the Kirk Hammett looking guitar player, big husky bass player with the pop collar and the shades. And like a couple of days before, me and Scott actually bumped into the band in the lift. They all just piled in and I'm like, you guys look like a band. Are you a band? But like Stan sounded great. They did all the hits from like Kickboxer and that. And they left the Touch and Dare till the very end, because of course they did. But when they played those ones, the room just exploded. Like everybody knew every word and it was just volume and energy and power. It was actually something else. But after they finished, everyone's like chanting, one more, one more. And Stan's like, look, we've played all the songs, we don't know any more songs. So they just did Dare again. I've never been at a gig before where they played the same song twice, but to be fair, that was exactly what we wanted. So after that, we all just drifted back to the bar. Everybody was in a brilliant mood. And again, I didn't go super hard, but I did accidentally stay up till 4. So I had to play Sunday pretty low key. I was a smidge fragile with like not having slept much. And Saturday was very full on, so I was just wiped out. I did have a minor moment in the main room on Sunday. I was trying to watch the panel, and then somebody comes over to speak to me, and then someone else comes to speak to me at the same time. I was just like, whoa, 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 that's too much, that's too much. So sorry to whoever that was. I'm not invincible. Tell you what I did do on this Sunday, though. I sat down for a chat with Andy Millman of the Moonbase 2 podcast, which was pretty nice and should be online soonish. I think I forgot to say anything funny the whole time. So I'll put a link somewhere around if you want to listen to me and Andy talk about file formats for 40 minutes. But I feel like I missed out a bit on Sunday because I hadn't booked a room for the night, so I had to check out, and I dumped all my gear with Mark, thank you mate. But like I missed almost all the panels, I had to skip the closing ceremony. I basically just went and grabbed some more robots and shook a few hands and then bounced about 4 o'clock. So next year, I'm sticking around for Sunday nights. Got to happen. You know, I've never gone for the whole Thursday to Monday marathon before, and I really want to do it, but part of me thinks it might kill me. So yes, overall, it was lovely. It was just a really good vibe the whole weekend. Everybody did a stellar job, just like near constant good vibes and wonderful times hanging around with beautiful, talented people, talking about toys and having a lovely old time. Flipping heck, I bought so much stuff. I spent so much money. I've done my usual thing of not even having unpacked yet. All my stuff's just in several bags down here. So I'm gonna grab them out and see how we get on. What's in the IKEA bag, Phew? Pred King, baby. Oh yes, this was the one thing I definitely wanted to get. They flew off the shelves. They were just all gone by about 2 on the Saturday, I think. God, look at that artwork. That is something else. Oh, so cool, man. I'm not even really a big Pred King fan, especially, but big spiky Titan class combiner, man. Gotta do it. Feel free to tell me which version I should have bought instead. Actually, don't. Your opinion means nothing. Big brown paper grocery bag. I feel like this should have a baguette sticking out of it. A leek and a bottle of wine. Oh, bitches, it's Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Can you believe it? I can't believe I actually bought this, but it's weird how 100 quid isn't that much for a Masterpiece anymore. Like with Dinobot and Beast Wars Megatron coming out, £100 suddenly isn't that much. Something's gone wrong there, hasn't it? But it was weird because I spotted Delta Magnus, the Diaclone repaint of this, for 90 quid. I'm like, ooh, I might do that. And then this was on the next shelf up for another 10 quid. So it's like, gotta happen. But yes, I've wanted this big fella since he came out, and I'm delighted that he's finally in my house for relatively a bargain and with no shipping. Way! Look at this as well. I found a HG 1:100 scale Gundam Epion from Gundam Wing. Oh, baby. This is my era, man. This is my life. So I'm looking forward to putting together this big floppy mess once again. Got this from Gundam Mad. That's gundammad.co.uk. And that's probably where I'm going to get most of my other stuff. All this stuff is so relatively cheap. 20 quid. It's vintage, bitch. Oh, yeah. A young lad came up to me in the dealer room and he gave me a bunch of Bakugans. I don't know what this is. I think it's just like little ball fellas and you roll them onto a thing. Yeah, I think this has a magnet in it and you roll the ball onto the thing and oh yeah, and it kind of auto-morphs. So we've got a little slimestone looking rock lord thing. Red sort of lava cobra looking thing. Oh, he's got hands. And like 4 more. I might do a brief episode on these in the future. It's a game, isn't it? I don't really do this kind of game. But these are cute. So thank you to the young lad who gave me these little orbs of joy. Back you gan. That's like a Geordie parking instruction, isn't it? Anyway, I got some attack packs from good old Nick Snowden. He always finds me a treat, that fella. Last year he got me that ATAX armor from Aliens, and this year got me 3 friggin' McDonald's attack pack, lads. Hello, hello, hello. Oh gosh, I've got to find some of the full-size attack pack lads, man. I can't find them anywhere. By which I mean they're not on eBay very often for cheap. So these will do. Thank you, Nicky. Don't feel good calling you Nicky. And in the flimsy white carrier bag, we have Planet X Kereya. This is their Skywarp, full of Cybertron style Skywarp. I bought this from good old Ben of The Collectibles, and he seems a little bit healthier, which is really nice to see. He seems to be making a bit of a recovery. But this thing is an absolute pain in the ass to transform, which I didn't know at the time, and you know, well, it's a Skywarp, innit? It's on brand. It's an on-brand purchase. I did try and transform him in the bar, but I got nowhere. I tucked away one hand, and then I thought, right, I'm not doing this. And then I couldn't get it back out. So I feel like this may be my new best frenemy. Still a nice mace though, look at that. R3, whoopah! Oh yeah, I got Real Gear Robots Longview. Where is he? There he is. He's actually all right. Bill Harrison gave us this, thank you, Bill. Quite like this fella, he's kind of neat. I feel like I completely missed out on the Real Gear Robots when they were in stores, etc. But he is extremely neat. Twiddle my thumb just for a bit. A little bag of knockoffs here. I think these were from a couple of people. This is a Dark of the Moon, apparently knockoff Megatron, which seems near enough legit to me, if a bit flimsy. The fella pointed out a couple of inconsistencies, which apparently it's a knockoff, I don't know. So thank you for that, buddy, that's lovely. Didn't catch anyone's name, I'm so sorry. But the same person gave me a, I think this is Energon, is it Battle Ravage? He ain't got no bloody feet though. They're like cartoon bones, aren't they, these feet? Spooky, scary skeleton. And this other thing in here is an absolute mess. Look at this. It's a knockoff, clearly Constructicons, Play School ass Mixmaster. They're like so basic. Look at this, it's so flimsy. And then the torso is a big fat Optimus Prime. I've no idea how this is supposed to work, but I think it's my new favourite thing in the world. So thank you, much appreciated. Is it a knockoff? How about like a knockoff that's convincing? We can call it a knock-on. Call me pathetic, call me what you will. Alrighty. Pink TFNation tote bag. Does that count as part of the haul? I think it does. But yes, another Gundam. This was from Ollie, who I bump into every year, and he's a lovely boy, and he always chucks me something. But he's given me an SD Devil Gundam, which is like a cute little baby version Gundam with an enormous scorpion for a butt, like something out of friggin' Dark Souls. God, I love it, man. It's so neat. I'm gonna have to build this pretty soon, because I can't wait to see what it looks like. Oh yeah, this was one of my last purchases of the weekend. BotCon G2 Ramjet. This is one I always want to get, but end up passing up. But oh baby, look at those colors. Is that just straight up Times New Roman italics? Oh, who cares? Look how sexy that is. G2 symbols, purple, slipstreamy, lugnutty colors. Oh, love it. Beer mats. That's Genericon, the TFNation mascot, having a little scribble on a thingy. Ah, yes. Got this from Toyfu. This is Skydive from the Predators. This is the only one I didn't have. He's not in the best. Oh my god, look at that light piping! Oh, you filthy bitch, look at that. But his stickers are a little bit scuffed up, and he's missing his little fin wing right there, but god, that's so pretty. I think this is my favorite frame of any video I've ever made. Purple plane, purple plane. £5. Couldn't not do it. But yeah, speaking of jets, and from the opposite end of the color wheel, I got a friggin' complete, beautiful, pristine G2 Fear Swoop. Oh, he's so weird. But yeah, it's got him from the Space Bridge for, I think, £40, which, you know, normally I wouldn't do it, but it was in such good shape, and it was the end of the weekend. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Fear the Swooping Dead. And now I'm gonna empty the suitcase. Can't remember for the life of me what's in here. It's not clothes. Lots of surprises again this year. I don't deserve it. I don't know why it keeps happening. Just every sort of 15 minutes, hey, here's some free stuff. It's not obligatory. I'm not some kind of reverse Santa Claus who comes in and takes everyone's toys away. Right, yes, okay, it's coming back to me. First of all, let's do paperwork. So I picked up a copy of the TFNation exclusive Ladybird book style story, The Decepticons Time Terror. This is based off of the Ladybird books sort of read-along adventures. It's very faithfully produced. Oh, look, it's got a little baby bumblebee instead of the ladybird. Ooh, here's the program done in the G2 style, and there's a little tiny baby ladybird on the face. Ah, perfect. Theming. But yes, this was a collaborative effort by loads of different artists, sort of like 15, 20 different artists. You got like the janky, super toy accurate ones, and then like some actually legit badass ones, because the artwork in these was always like slavishly accurate to how the toys looked. Look at Soundwave. It looks like a photo of the toy. Huffer and... is that Gears? That looks like the Malignus version of Gears, doesn't it? Anyone know what that means? Probably. Everybody does, Stu. You ain't special. So this is rather marvelous. Grand job. Yeah, speaking of G2, this was a little print I picked up from Adam Zero Kaiser. Friggin' Combat Megatron and Laser Prime. Is there anything more badass you've ever seen? Just gonna plug Adam for a second, because he does some wonderful stuff. He's on Patreon. I think it's patreon.com/ZKDraws. He does me a little trading card every month, like he did one of Thunder Clash. That's all original artwork. That ice cream boy from the Happy Party video, bring it, that's just me. Skywarp, Astro Train, you know, all my favorite boys. Suican from the Trainbots, just wonderful. And also he's a really nice bloke as well. Thank you, Adam, love you. Oh, Graham was giving these out. Graham of Collecting Stories. Let's see if we can find his thingy. There we go, Collecting Stories on Twitter. Graham Thompson, wonderful man, I love him. Just one of the most genuine, lovely people you'll ever meet, and he friggin' recreated all this sort of classic artwork with the Seacons, and he did, I think, the Terracons and the Technobots as well. So that's just a beautiful bit of sort of late G1 love, and a wonderful bit of marketing. You're doing it right. There's another one, that's Nose Cone, so I've got Nose Cone and Overbite. Oh, baby. Fully, oh baby. That's my ticket. That's the novelty Stan Bush concert ticket. It's just for show. Why not, eh? Oh, there's one of my business cards. That's my approach to marketing, is I go to a convention and I hand out loads of business cards to people who already know who I am. Yes, a fella named Rudy Zissou, best name in the universe, did me a... a Skywarp little pony. I don't really know how I feel about that. A couple of prints from Jamesy. I think this is Cloudburst, but he's done a wonderful job on that. Gonna have to grab a frame for that, aren't I? As well as Not Today, Galvatron. Bit of a sickening retro wave artwork there. Lovely stuff. Thank you, buddy. This is a hand-drawn Skywarp from Jack Bowling, young lad. This was the kid who last year he got Bob Budiansky to sign his phone. Do you remember that? But yes, thank you, mate. Lovely stuff. And yeah, I think that's all I got, sort of paperwork, artwork-wise, from this year. Because I always feel kind of bad going up to the Forge, and then I always end up not buying anything. And I always just feel like I'm wasting their time, because, you know, I do appreciate the talent and that comes with the artwork and the creative side of the fandom. So I'm always one of those jerks who's like, ooh, maybe later, and then I never come back. Oh yes, got a business card from David. That's the fella who did my action figure last year, the figure of me that I've still not reviewed. But he does a bit of work with a charity company called Stacy Smiles. They work with children with neuroblastoma, which is a horrible form of cancer, and they're sort of a make-a-wish kind of thing. Like, they make sure that these kids have like at least one day that's just brilliant. So that's stacysmiles.org.uk. They're on Just Giving, and you can text WISH15 £3 to 70070. Right, what else we got? Oh yeah, Jules Prime. Love that guy. He gave me a friggin' Takara War for Cybertron Cliff Jumper and a Titan's Return Scourge. Why? But yes, War for Cybertron, probably going to be doing a playthrough of that pretty soon on the Playgrind channel. I started recording a bit of Beast Wars last week, but my capture device was not interested. So I did a little poll on Twitter and Facebook, and I did one of those posts on YouTube as well. So War for Cybertron it's going to be, and I might have to do some tie-in reviews. And Scourge is actually quite nice as well. So thank you, Jules. Much appreciated. Please enjoy jazz. Oh God, I'm getting overwhelmed with toys. That's my catchphrase. Oh yeah, this was from a young lad named Wojtek. and he gave me this dreadful knockoff. It's the same sort of quality level as that birthday Quake thing we did in the Ruination video. Look at that, kind of adorable little G2. It's got a mouth. Blah, 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 blah. Why? It's got a tongue. Sort of half G2, half attack pack. And he also gave me this bloody thing. I've no idea how this is supposed to work. It's like a sort of GoBot-y Optimus Prime motorbike thing. I can't figure it out. It's horrible. And it's broken. Brilliant. So thank you, Wojtek. You didn't have to do that. Another Gundam kit. It's a Wing Gundam Zero. 144 scale. Mate. This was from Ben. I'm actually legitimately really happy about this. So that's 3 wonderful Gunpla sets for the near future. Might do build videos, might not. Might just enjoy them for myself. This, yeah, I remember a kid gave me this and he's like, save it for later. So I don't know what's in this. Where's my cool knife? I hope it's not just leftover Chinese food. You're kidding me. Oh, mate, it's one of these. What do you even call this? Why would you? Okay, thank you. Oh, joke shop bullshit. Yes, this is a little letter from Jimmy and Emily. Thank you, fellas. They gave me a thingy, which is down here. There he is. The red Thunder Dragon Zord, is it? No, Dragon Thunder Zord. Whoops. Yes, that's the Red Dragon Thunder Zord from the Power Rangers. I've never had a Zord of my own before. It's kind of cool, actually. It turns into like a long dragon boy. There's something very wholesome about that, isn't there? Just a robot with a lovely face, lovely handsome face, very straightforward, and he turns into a big spooky dragon. Mighty Morphing Power Rangers! I kind of love that, actually. Oh, thank you, fellas. This is brill. How about this? There you go. Go, go, Power Rangers. Now that's what I call a robot in disguise. Oh, yeah. Picked up a friggin' Studio Series Ironhide. Don't you know? Don't you know? Got this from In Demand. Oh, boy. He looks quite good. Clearly, I haven't popped him out yet. I haven't popped any of these out yet, not really. But he looks, you know, alright. Look at his silly little arms. That's the thing with Ironhide, you kind of screwed whatever you do because he's such a weird shape. But if nothing else, he can't be worse than the 2007 one, can he? Yeah! Fall of Cybertron, Takara Skywarp. Yes, mate. Picked this up off a fellow, we chatted about it beforehand. He's like, oh, 20 quid? I'm like, alright then. Sort of sheeny purple and actually looks a lot better than I imagined it would. I thought the grey had kind of overwhelmed it, but it really doesn't. So thank you, mate. Nicely done. Yes, unbelievably, I paid for it. Oh, G1 Ironhide, how are things made? Yes, a young lad gave this one to me. It's in far better condition than my one is, but it's missing a few bits, which my one has. So I reckon I'm going to Frankenstein them both together and have one actually good Ironhide. Ooh, this was a prezi from Liza of the Nice Lords. This is, Brave something. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's a little model kit of one of the Braves. He's got like a big sort of lion face. Brave something. Soda? Brave Soda? Wolf Cola? This thing, Viv gave us this. This is horrendous. What is it? Ultra Former RID Bumblebee, I think he's called, and he's just garbage. Look at this. It's like a bubble bath. Look how empty it is. It's just, ugh. It's like a ghoul. It's like a ghast of a robot. But there is something weirdly really satisfying about it. Like, the way it clicks together. Listen to this. Oh, the way it slams shut like that. 23 quid this is at retail. So thank you, Viv. I would never have bought this. And it is weirdly enjoyable in a strange sort of way. I am the sweatiest man of all the men. Ooh, a Roborg Metamorphosis. This is off Jim Van der Kolk. It's apparently a die-cast sort of dreadful transforming robot. Jim's like, please set it on fire. And while I'm not averse to using fire, I don't think it's going to work on a metal one. But let's not rule anything out. I'm going to give it a shot. Thank you, Jim. Oh, this guy. Friggin' Hot Soldiers Centurion fellow. This is the little sort of Hearts of Steel choo-choo train Bumblebee with the big hammer. But I'm really glad I picked this one up. There was actually another Bumblebee that I almost picked up as well. It wasn't Hot Soldiers, it was from one of the other miniature Legends class sort of third-party companies. They're very vogue right now. But it was their gold bug, and I nearly bought it on the strength of the name alone. It was called Director Gremlin. But yes, Hot Soldiers, Centurion, fully on board. This lad was the first thing I got the whole weekend. I think it's Landfill, right? Double Target Master Landfill. Somebody gave this to me within an hour of my arrival. Thank you, mate. Definitely not the best looking boy, is he? But he is fairly marvellous in his own way. What a ledge. Look at that. Look at those colours. Beige and brown and beige. Ooh. I don't think I got any Beast Formers this year. Nothing Beast Warsy. That's weird. It's not that weird. Yeah, Nick also found me, along with the attack packs, he also found me a Wilco Blocks terrible knockoff Lego set. Look at this. This is from High Street Hardware store Wilco's. What is that? Some kind of horrible chimera creature. Thank you, Nick. Oh yeah! Got me an Armada Cyclonus. Yes, mate. This was from the Space Ridge. Only 12 quid. Really happy to have picked this one up after the Armada PS2 adventure. Definitely still feeling the Armada love. Now, how does this work? It goes... is there some kind of gimmick? Is that it? Yeah, there he is. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, help me, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. That's my other motto. Oh. Oh, that's his Minicon. God, that's clever. So his Minicon is his own face. That's weird. I love it, but that's weird. Heavy unit, attack! That's his catchphrase. I think I was the only person who didn't get any form of Optimus Primal. I'm sure everybody got one. Either the Masterpiece or the Titan's Return one. But not I! Cheeky long box of... It says hot diamonds, but it's actually not diamonds. This was from Ryan, Pokey Prime, and he gave us a Bumblebee head off of a bottle of Bubble Bath. Along with one of those mini thingies of Ratchet and some G1 protector bots. Got a Blades and a friggin' Groove and a First Aid. So thank you, buddy, that's lovely. These were from Ethan of the Nice Lords. This is a couple of Super Change robots. Way! Got a friggin' Roll Bar, Roll Gallagher, Roll Edmonds, there you go. And Dirt Boss, Jonathan Boss, I don't know. These are horrific and I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you, mate. Where am I going to keep all this stuff? Oh, some kind of Beast Box Vanguard? I think this was also from the same gang. I don't really know what this is. It looks like some kind of cube that turns into a Rhino Man. Release the beast. I support this initiative. That's not happening. I'll do it later. Thank you. Oh yeah. This was from one of the TFN volunteers. I didn't get your name, mate, sorry, but he's given me the tape of Transformers the movie. This was the Ladybird release, I think, because I got this a little while ago, and that is the accompanying audio tape. This is not something I ever expected to see again, so I'm gonna have to dig out the old tape player and see what it sounds like. Oh yes, Jim Van Der Kolk also came through again with 2 different Demolishers, friggin' Armada and Energon version, so I've gone from having none of him to 2 of him. So thank you, buddy, that's amazing. This is the hands, because last year Sam, Rotorstorm, gave us a custom stalker that he'd made out of the Titan's Return Hardhead, but it didn't have any hands, so that's what that is. Nice. Now, this was another thing, again, from the Nice Lords. This is called Valvatron. I don't know what it looks like, but they said it's hilarious. What? What? What is that? Oh, it's like an oil jug. Ooh. Behold, Valvatron. Oh my god, this doesn't transform, does it? It can't possibly. What a bag of shit. That is horrific. And this is where I normally say, but I love it. However, I do not. That is just garbage. Why have you done this? That has got to be the most desperate brand deal. They were really reaching for sponsors, weren't they, for the last night? Just garbage. However, thank you. I've been doing this for like an hour and a half. It's gotta be nearly all of it now. Yeah. Young lad gave me a friggin' boxed G1 knockoff Devastator. It is called Construction. Look at these names. Building, feeding, picking, sanitation, ravage... Ravage and disguise. What an absolute shit show. This was something I kind of half wanted. I sort of wanted to get it as a gag. But this is the Japanese release of Generations Cosmos. His name is Adams. That's my name. But the toy line this is from is called Transformers Adventure. So I'm going to start using this as my name. Transformers Adventure Adams. That's what I'd like you all to call me from now on. So that was 15 quid from Indemand, but I'd only ever seen it available elsewhere, like on eBay for 80 quid or something. Couldn't not do it. This is something that a young lad gave to us. It's apparently a knockoff of the Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime. Whoa! Ho, 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 ho. Look at this. Oh, mate. Cool. This is like the Shattered Glass sort of Voyager class. War for Cybertron Optimus. This is the bomb. Look at that beast. Got some kind of massive axe in there. That is monstrous. Good Christ, man. Oh, sort of love legitimately kind of good knockoffs. It's roughly twice as big and about 70% of the quality, so fairly acceptable actually, not bad at all. That is fairly fearsome. I'm gonna have to appeal to the people of the world to stop giving me stuff at this point. Because since the PO box opened and since, you know, TFNation, I'm just overflowing at this point. And I have to start making some videos and start moving some of this stuff back out, because this is getting unhealthy. Having said that, thank you. UTF-01 Abyss. I don't know who made this. Miniature Pewter Optimus Primal. So I did get him after all. There's no escape, is there? Ah, mate, I got both volumes of the Combat Colin from Loose Stringer. I think these are just like collected strips. Yeah, they are. That's what we like. Oh yeah, Erin did this. This is a customized, I think this is a Galaxy shifter. You know, one of these bloody things, but it's custom paint job, fairly matte finish. Feels like, looks like Dead End / Lockdown. I daren't transform it, because I'm going to break it and or ruin the paint job. But yes, love the colours, black and purple, you know me, I'm easy to please. So thank you, Erin, you frickin' legend. Got the Master Force zine, that's from Toy Fu. I think this is all original artwork. Beautiful, original God Jinrai print. Oh, look who did it, it's Adam Zero Kaiser. It's turning into a big advert for him, isn't it? Ah, this is sweet, like original strips. Brilliant. And they were giving these away for nothing. Nice. Another one of these bloody things. Put into battle. More like put into bin. This is a Bob the Builder transformer. That is the stuff of nightmares. Look at that creepy little face. Ooh, giving me the giblies. This is something else I picked up from Toy Fu. This is a Beast Wars 2nd auto launcher. Apparently an aborted G2 design, can you tell, that they brought back for Beast Wars 2nd. And I've never seen this before in my life, and I completely love it. And that's almost it, I think. I've just got a little customized Gundam RX-782 Lego man, beautiful, and a Transformers Prime Soundwave from a young lad as well. So that is an absolutely obscene amount of stuff. Also, Peter gave me this. This is a 3D printed wrench for Nautica. Wonderful. And somebody passed this to me during a panel. I didn't catch their name, but it's a Warhammer figure of guess whom. Oh my god, it's only me, isn't it? Some kind of dwarven man with black and purple armor and a big old beard and some silly goggles and a massive wrench. Love it. Thank you, whoever did that. Legendary stuff. Whoa. So that's everything. My god, what a weekend. Oh my god, that's so much gear. I can't believe it. Thank you, everybody who gave me stuff and who sold me things, and who made me feel like a special boy the whole time. Oh my god, so yes, it was a wonderful weekend, and basically TFNation is pretty much the peak of my year at this point. I kind of can't imagine my life without it now. Especially like this has been such a weird year, like going sort of full time on this thing, going from seeing 15 people in an office every day and having a fixed routine to just being at home on my own the whole time. So it was definitely very welcome to go and stand around in a big building full of 1,300 people who are just like me. So massive respect to the TFN team, Dave, Billy, Izza, Patrina, the Piries, the Mapeses, everybody involved, just massive respect and thank you. Thank you for doing what you do and making it bigger and better every year. Friggin' Stan Bush, man! What? As if that happened, as if it went off without a hitch. You legends! You legends! So I think we're about done, aren't we? Just massive love to everybody who I saw and hung out with and spent a bit of time with, and everybody who contributed to making TFN 2018 such a massive success. TFN, the nicest!